This here is a wall clock that was sent to us recently by a customer, and when it got here I thought, hold on a minute. I looked online and I checked out some prices for these wall clocks, and I realized I'm sure this can't be worth more than £20, right? Why would somebody send this in for repair? And as I was thinking, and then I thought, you know what, maybe it's got some sentimental value to it. I always like to repair different things. I always like to try something different which I've never repaired before. So we're going to attempt to repair this and get it back on the road. So I'll just give you a little bit of background to it. When it came in, the battery contacts at the back, they were corroded, and there was no movement on the clock itself. So when I put in a fresh set of batteries, there was no movement at all on the clock. So I'm going to dismantle it now. I'm going to show you how to dismantle it, and I'm going to show you what I've found inside. So let's do that now. The first thing you want to do is flip it over, right? And what you want to do is, I mean, the fittings might be slightly different, but I'm sure they're all pretty similar, these with these wall clocks. So you're going to have a piece like this, right? These fit on here, and then you have like a screw which goes through here, like a little screw like that, and it goes through here, and then it fixes that to the bamboo, right? And that holds the clock in place. And you've got a couple of them which go all the way around. You've got one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. So it's really simple. Just get a screwdriver, unscrew that, and these will just come off. Once you've taken all of them off, right, it's just a matter of pulling it up from the bottom and taking it out like so. Okay, that's all you're going to do. You're just going to pull it up from the bottom. Right, now this here, before we can actually take off the back, this is what we're interested in. We need to have a closer look at this to try and figure out what's going on in here. But before you can do that, what you're going to have to do is turn it over and remove the hands. Now, removing the hands is actually quite easy. All you have to do is just get on here, pull the top piece off, right? It just pulls off, okay? You can see how it's fitted in. Put that to the side, right? The next hand is also pulled off in the same way, okay? Here we go. There you go. That's your minute hand, right? So that's come off. Put that to a side. Okay, and after that, what you're left with is your hour hand, and the hour hand is the same thing, same principle. Just pull it gently, right, and it'll just come out like so. Okay, put that to the side. Right, now what you want to do is you want to flip it over, okay, and if you have a look here, right, there's two tabs here. There's one tab here and there's one tab here. We're going to push those tabs back, and that will allow us to push this piece out. So let's do that now. If you get yourself a flat screwdriver, something like this, you can easily push these tabs back. Right, there we go. And we can push this one back as well. And there we have it. Right, this one's got a bit of grease on it, which I'm just going to wipe down with a tissue. Okay, so after you've taken it off, what you're going to be faced with is something that looks like this. That's the back side of it. The battery goes in here, and this here is the front side. It's actually quite a simple mechanism. I thought it would probably be a lot more complicated, but once I opened it I realized it's not actually too complex. So the way you're going to take this apart, it's quite simple. If you come over here, can you see this flap here? Right, you can clearly see that. Okay, you're going to lift that flap, and on the other side you've got a similar flap. Okay, so let's just do that now quickly. right? So we come here, lift one side up, and that's all it takes, right? And you can come from the other side as well, flip that up, and there you go. And it's just going to come off just like that. Okay, so you can put that to a side. Now if you have a look inside here, right, you can see all the little gears and stuff inside there. This piece just came off, it was just here. So, well, let me get a tweezer. Okay, so I'm just going to grab that piece that went in there, right? So move that to the side. Okay, so here you go, you can watch this here, because they're all quite the same actually. This piece was just underneath here. There's a little slide where it goes into, so you'll know it's just from underneath here. So you take this one off, right? Okay, then you take the next one off, which is this one here. That's your seconds. Okay, then you take this one off here, right? Then you remove this one from here. This one's got a magnet on the back. Okay, so you put that there. Now you're going to have this plastic piece here. So the top part consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 gears, right? Let's remove this. So to remove this, all you got to do is come around here, okay, and just put a bit of pressure here, and that will just come up. Okay, so now you've taken the middle piece off, right? Now these bits, they can stay on there. There's 3 gears here. I'll show you what they look like. You've got one here, you've got a second one here, and you've got a third one down there, right? So that can stay there, that's not a problem. What we're interested in is this bit here, right? So to take this off is really easy. You just pull it from the bottom and it's going to come off. Okay, and what you do is you can just slide it out like that, right? And here is all the electrical circuitry. So I'm just going to take this under the microscope because I want you to have a closer look at this, and I want to show you what I found on this one and what I had to do to sort it out. So let's do that now. Right, so I've got it under the microscope, and as you can see, it's a very, very simple circuit. There's a crystal here, and there's just some traces around here, okay, and obviously you've got the coil at the back. Now this is what I found on this one here. I was looking here, I looked here, and I realized that this bit here, can you see here, but this trace should lead all the way to this pad here. But what had happened was, I don't know whether it was because of the corrosion from the battery, but yeah, let me zoom in a bit more so I can show you that. This trace here, right, this trace here, which goes to this pad here, it had corroded from here, completely corroded. So all I did was I got a piece of copper wire, connected it from here to here, and then I just soldered it from both sides. Okay, and that's basically all it was. So if you've got one of these and you know it's not working at all, even when you change the battery, open it up. A lot of the times it might not even be corroded, it might just need a clean. Okay, maybe it's just some of that battery acid has gotten over here and it's caused created like a sheen over it, over the contact, so that could be a possibility as well. But this was the issue with this particular clock. So let's put it all back together, and I want to show you something else as well before we get it running. Okay, I'm going to assemble every piece in front of you now so you can see exactly how this goes back together. So the first piece you need is this one here, right? This one goes in first, that's the first piece. Then you need this gear here, which looks like that. Right, that goes in here. Okay, make sure it's in properly. You'll be able to tell if it's in because it'll be spinning when you move this. Right, the next piece that goes in is this piece here. Okay, so you need to make sure that goes in there, and let's check Everything's still spinning. It is. Right, so that's that part there. Now what you need to do is you need to get this piece, the coil, right, and you're going to put this metal piece here through the coil like so. Okay, see that, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to sit this inside the housing like so. Oh, sorry, slight mistake there. This should go on this way, right? So the coil is on the right leg, not on the left leg, it's on the right leg. Okay, and then what you do is you take this, right, and you just sit it in this corner here. So I'm going to do that now. See, it's got these locating holes here, so it's not going to be too difficult. As long as you locate it inside the holes, you'll be fine. Okay, so you can see that, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the plastic cover and we're going to sit on top of here. Now this is the plastic cover, right, and it goes in, you can see that it goes in this way, right? So I'm just going to sit it on top of there, locate the holes, and it just clips into place. You can see that, right? I think that's pretty clear. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the gear with the magnet on it on the bottom, and we're going to sit it inside this section here. That goes in there, right? The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to sit this piece here inside this hole here, right? So that goes in there, make sure it goes all the way in. Okay, second piece is this gear here, and this goes in, okay, it goes in this way. So you're going to sit on top of here and you're going to locate it inside this hole, this that locating pin on the side. And it's just going to sit like that. And the last piece is your second gear. This is for the seconds, and this is going to go in here and it's going to sit like so. Okay, and that's all there is to that mechanism. And then what you do is you get your last plastic piece and you click it on top. Okay, so locate it inside the holes. You can see here all the bits where it's going to locate. It's going to basically go together like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do that now. And there it is, all back together. Okay, at this point what we want to do is we want to test to make sure everything's working before we put it back in the clock. So let's do that now. I'll just put the second hand on it, and what I'll also do is I'll put what do you call it, a battery in the back. So I've got a battery here and I'm just going to put it in, see if we get any movement. Okay, so plus is on that side. Right, so we've put the mechanism back together, and as you can see the second hand is spinning as it should, but don't put it back together just yet, because there's still one more thing you got to do. What you have to do is you have to hold it vertically, right, and you have to see if those minutes, if the second hand, if it goes up properly. It has to be able to go up with the pressure of gravity facing on it, right? Because when you've got it flat, there's no pressure from that it has to push against, right? But when you got it like this, that's when you're going to know if it's really working or not. Okay. So we can confirm that this clock mechanism or clock movement is working, and it's ready to go back into the clock housing. Okay, so when you're doing this repair, there is a possibility that you may not be able to get this working again. Maybe the pads are corroded beyond repair. Maybe the coil's damaged. Maybe the gears inside have broken, right? So there's a possibility that you may not be able to get this this movement or this mechanism working. What are you going to do in that situation? Well, I've got a solution for that as well. Let's go over to the PC and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You can open an eBay page if you want, or a Google page, but I've just come directly to AliExpress. And if you type in the search box, if you type in wall clock movement, right, then what you will get is a whole host of these mechanisms will come up, these clock movement mechanisms, and all you have to do, right, is let's go into one, is match the dimensions. Okay, so you can see here, let's look at this one here. You can see they've all got different dimensions here, right? You just have to match it up with the one that you're going to replace, right? And what I would recommend is, if you're going to replace the mechanism, don't just get the mechanism on its own. I recommend you get the mechanism with the hands, right, with the seconds, the minutes and the hours included, because that will save you then having to measure the center hole and making sure they match up with the hands on the old clock. And it's only going to be like £1 difference. I mean, all of these, as you can see here, they're about maximum they're about £4, £5, right? So get one with the hands, right? Match it up, all the measurements, and you should be good to go. Like if you have a look here, this one here, this actually looks like it's a much better quality, a much more heavier duty movement than the one we've actually got in the original clock. Anyway, just for a laugh, I actually ordered one of these in, and I notified the customer. I said, look, I'm going to upgrade. I've repaired it, but I'm going to upgrade it for you, and I'm going to do it free of charge because I'm making a video and I'd like to show people how it's done. So I'm going to upgrade the internal clock mechanism to a better quality one. I've ordered it and it's actually been delivered, and I'm going to show you now what it looks like. I haven't actually opened the packaging, so it's going to be a first for me, and we're going to fit it into the clock. And don't worry, the old piece or the old clock mechanism, I'm going to provide that back to the customer, so they've always got it there if they need it. But it'll be nice to give them a free upgrade. Okay, so here is exactly what was sent to me, and this is how it was packed. You can see it's packed quite carefully, and this was inside another envelope. The hands, they put it inside a plastic pipe, so that's going to be protected quite well inside there. So let's open that now and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so this here is our new internal piece. It actually feels a lot more heavier than the old one. So let's have a look here. Look at the size of the coil on that. Right, uses 1.5 volt battery, no alkaline or rechargeable batteries. Okay, fair enough. And you can see it's got all the mechanism inside this. It does seem like a bit more heavier duty, and it may be a newer model. But the reason why I ordered this one is because the seconds on this, you know, the other one it's like click, click, click. The seconds on this one is like it just keeps spinning, and I think it'll be a nice upgrade to this clock. So let's put it all together and let's see how it goes. Actually, let me show you the these, the hands. There's your seconds. That's your hours. I mean, that's your minutes, and this is your hours. Right. So we're gonna try and fit that back into the clock now. Yeah, this one's got like a little knot here, which the other one didn't have. So you can tell it's much better quality. And then it's got a gasket here as well. Right. So I believe the gasket just goes in the back, and then this piece goes in like so. And as you can see, it's a straight fit. So we've got that fitted inside there, and all we've got to do is put this nut in here and tighten it down, and I think that's good enough. Right, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hand on. It's got like a plastic cover on this. You want to take it off, which I'm going to do with the tweezer. Can you see that? It's got like a plastic cover on it. You don't want that on there. You want to take that off. So we'll do that now. And it just peels off like that. Okay, so let's put this guy on. Okay. Quite happy with that. Okay, so the second piece that's going to go on is the minutes hand. I'm just going to take this, there's a plastic cover on here as well for protection. I'm going to take that off. Okay. Now when you're putting this back together, obviously line it up with an hour. So you could line it up at 9 o'clock. And all we've got to do now is put the second hand on, which we're going to do. Right. Let's put our battery in and let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've got a fully charged battery here. You can see it says 1.57 volts. Let's put this into the back like so. We can see here that our plus is on this side, and look at that. Wow, isn't that cool? I think that's really cool. Wow, look how the seconds spin on that. I think they're going to be really pleased with that when they get it back. Well, that's all there is to it really. The rest of it, I'm not going to film me putting it back into the case. You can imagine what that's like. I just got to push it in and just screw the bits on. I hope you learnt something today. As I say, it was a first time repairing a clock for me, so I learnt a few things myself. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until the next one, as usual, bye for now and have a nice day.